Hello friends, it's Reza. You've come to channel Reza Blade and the final 30th video in our 30 and 30 take 2. The second series of my 30 videos and 30 reviews in 30 days, and I have been putting this off for about a day and a half now because I really kind of didn't want this to end. Thank you guys for your kind messages about the series. And my final review contains quite a bit of how-to, because I'm reviewing the now I got these from Born Pretty, but several different companies I think are making them. They sell these on Ali Express and on eBay. These are the dual-headed stampers. They are clear jelly, and this one is red, this one is white. Some people call them resizing stampers or resizing clear jelly stampers, because that is they are very good at shrinking. Enlarging, it's a bit trickier, but something that I want to touch on in my video that a lot of people don't touch on is where to put it after you're done enlarging it or shrinking it, because most people test it on a lint roller. And with a lint roller, you still have to act fast, so that isn't changed, but you don't deal with the issue of the stamp drying before you get to your nail, or the difficult issue of placing it on your nail after it's shrunk. It is a little trickier than that. So a lot of people, when they use these, will use a little mat for decals. And you'll see that I have been working on this. I've put down a base of Wet n Wild Clear nail protector. It's the best currently. That's what I'm aware of. Current wisdom says that this is the best clear polish for decals. And so I've been putting them on here so that you can actually use it in a stamp. So let me show you what I do, and I'll show you how big these guys are and everything about that. So this is the one that I got just a couple days ago. I've worked with it quite a bit, so it probably doesn't look new anymore. But we have, here we go. So this across here, now you'll notice they have lids. That's perfect and awesome for any clear jelly stamper that you want to make decals on, because let's say you have a pet who knocks things over, not calling any names here, Miss Nina, or you just want to protect it for a certain given time. That is perfect to just pop that lid on there and protect a decal. So I'll have purchasing information in the description box for these guys. This is, I believe, 4 centimeters. Yep, 1.5 inches. And the actual, let me see. Yeah, 4 centimeters, 1.5 inches across the bottom of that. So anyway, let's get into how you use these. The clear jelly stamper is self-explanatory. You're going to use it just the way that you normally would. So let's say this is CC and Sissy 23. Let's say I want to try out a swirly. And it did come with a scraper. I put it out so that I could show you the scraper, but I don't know where I put it. So that's fun. No! Of course I let it dry because I'm filming. That's why I let it dry. All right, guys. Grrr. The last video couldn't be perfect, could it? Nope. Sometimes this trick works to take stamped polish off of. Sometimes it doesn't. So let me see. I'm still looking for that tiny little scraper. I don't see it. It's like little and floral. It's a nice flexible scraper, so I do want to show you, but. And of course I did a mani for you, even though there was no plate to review. I just, there was a challenge that said swirls today, so I went ahead and just did a quick little ombre, popped some swirls on there and said I can show my friends this manicure. There we go. All right, so let's try to actually get it right this time, shall we, Reza? All right, yay! So that's how to use the regular old clear jelly stamper. Yes, we know this. So, what about shrinking? Well, shrinking is pretty easy with this one. And part of the key is to leave the shrinking head in the holder while you are picking up the stamp initially. The reason is, never mind, I'm talking about enlarging. So shrinking is easy. All we do is we stick that to the top of a bundle monster, is the right kind of size. Now the further you stretch, because we're going to take our fingers, our index finger and our thumb, and we're going to stretch like this, okay? The further you stretch, the more it's going to shrink. So if you just need something shrunk a little, I've already got dust on this and I don't know why, because I've been using it all day. If you're just going to want to shrink it a little, then just go like this, seriously, because I'll show you a big shrink and you'll see how much, I mean, it really is a bunch. So let's say that I would like to shrink. Now I've been shrinking things on this plate all day, so I'm kind of bored with this plate. Let's see about, shrink something on the Wonders of Life plate. All right, this one. So let's say I need to get a different BMC lid here, because now these, if you have this clear jelly stamper, this is the right size to be able to shrink on this one too. So this will work for you. But I do have some Bundle Monster lids, so I am using this. Now we've got a two-step process with shrinking. We take our stamp and we pick it up with the clear jelly stamper, and we immediately move it over here and we let go to let the shrinking process. Now you may think, now that I've shrunk this, first of all, it's a little bit skewed, and yes, that will happen, but this is a non-directional stamp, so not only is it ideal for shrinking because it's non-directional, but you see this part right here, this actually showed up quite well. So what I'm going to do, because you'll say, oh Reza, it's stuck on your stamper, because you have officially let it dry. Yes, I've let it dry and it's stuck on the stamper, because I'm going to show you. If I pick up my little decal mat and I try to stamp down, no, nothing. So here's what I'm going to do, and this is how I do it. And it takes a little time, but it is the easiest way to do it. So it'll be a total of 3 coats. But first coat, I put, now you can use my pat method if you want, but this polish is already very well dry, so you don't really need to. Make sure you mark your edges well. See, that did smear. So, and that's not in the part of the stamp I'm looking for, so that part is okay. Anyway, so I put some clear nail protector on, and then I let it dry. I'm going to do that 2 more times until there's an actual shape, and basically I'm making the decal on the stamper head. So once it's 3 coats of the nail protector, you should be able to, with tweezers or with the very edge of your finger, peel it off of this stamper head and put it on the nail that you want it on. So that is how I do it. I was gonna, while you guys are watching, I was going to try to act quickly enough to get it on a decal mat with some accuracy, because you've got to be quick and you've got to be accurate, and those 2 things don't always go well together. So let's say shrinking, and I'm gonna use, well, first I'll show you how to enlarge, and then we'll try to conquer the shrinking issue. So I've been told you the other day I was gonna try to enlarge this little stamp here that just married. So swiftness is important here as well. And you have to have everything ready. That's why I keep moving stuff around. You got to be ready to move. And you're trying to hit for the center because that's where you're going to have the least amount of skewing. Ah! Oh, I said I was enlarging it and I shrunk it. I'll get it right eventually, guys. Maybe it'll be finally after the camera stops rolling, but I will get it right eventually. Okay, so here's the deal. Since I want it in exactly the center, I'm going to put this back in its little holder. Okay. This is what I was talking about before when I stopped myself and I said, oh yeah, I'm talking about enlarging. So I want it in the center. And now that I've put that in the center, I'm going to really quick, oh gosh. Okay. Did I do it? Can you read it? Well, yeah, you can. You can read it now. Just married. Okay, so I got it all on the decal, and it may not be oriented right, but seriously, beggars can't be choosers when we're talking about a process that is this quick. So, and one of the reasons that I did not turn over the polish is because I had it open, which was stupid, but I do recommend that you do work like this if you can. If you have a mini mat and you can use its clarity for purposes of placement, go ahead. Because you do have to make sure that it's all just right and you're working within milliseconds. So, all right. So we got one enlarge. I'm going to show you another one just to show you. Because this process, practice makes perfect. And you will find it, I usually only use these things as decals because of what I was going to because of the speed, but I was going to try to work directly on the nail for you to just show you if it could be done. All right, so let me enlarge again. This is a good one to enlarge because it's small things. All right, make sure that you're on the center. Oh no, I just put my thumb in it. Seriously, talking about the 30th video, we are just a blooper city right now. All right, one more time, guys. I'll do this right. Just everything's got to be so close together and so ready, and I get so nervous about getting it wrong. All right, so there's that. And I don't have it in its holder. Let's see if I can be accurate. I was accurate. So here I'm going to enlarge straight onto the nail. Here you go. So that, it's not terribly hard, right? Because we've got our enlarged image right there, ready for us to put our fingernail on, or our pop stick, or whatever. Okay, so that worked. Let's try shrinking directly on the nail. See if that works. So I tried to clean up in between steps. So now we're shrinking, we're dealing with wonders of life again. Now here's the plan. I'm going to try to shrink it directly onto a pop stick, but if I am unable to, you'll see me grab the decal sheet and I'll try to work on that. So however I feel this going, we're going to get it right. So I have this all set up, ready to go. And let's try to shrink this little motif here. Whoa! We have got, this was, I mean, a little bit of you know, a little bit peeled off and didn't stick. But seriously, this is so good for as quick as we are talking about getting. So that was awesome. Now, because accuracy and swiftness are often directly, reversely proportionate to each other, and that reverse relationship is not conducive for beautiful art, right? So many times that is why I choose to do decals when it comes to reversing or shrinking, because you know, you do 3 or 4 and you choose the best. So let me show you an example of things that can go wrong and right when you're shrinking. Okay, so here is the correct size. Wait, no. This must be the right size. And then here is shrunk. You'll notice that it's askew. Well, that does sometimes happen when you shrink. So you know, that's why you do maybe 4 or 5 of them. So this is an enlargement, and this is a shrink. And you'll notice once again, the shrink is askew. So now here's a good one. I've got the regular stamp here. I tried to shrink here. You'll notice it doesn't even look like what it looks like. I like it. You can't tell the size, the shape, anything about it. It's totally wrong. Here's an enlarge that is right. Here's an enlarge that is right. And here's a shrink that looks pretty darn good. This I took from a Born Pretty Dream Catcher plate, and I just decided that I wouldn't be using this plate at all because it is so tricky to shrink completely proportionately. And that was my first shrink, and I'm like, that doesn't, no, I'm not working with this plate and shrinking. So there we go. Obviously, I love these stampers. I think that they could be potentially, if you're very budget oriented, they could be your only stamper. Seriously. So, you know, maybe get 4 or 5 of these. Now, you'll notice, you remember that I use these all the time. So I wouldn't live without these. But I do plan to get 4 or 5 of these too, because they are so useful to the design and creation process. You've got your giant clear jelly stamper up here. You've got your marshmallow head that it works not just as a resizing stamper, but it also works as a miracle stamper. You'll notice, you'll remember maybe if you've seen my previous video when I talk about miracle stampers, they're the ones that you don't really trust the plate isn't the best, or the stamping polish isn't the best, or whatever isn't the best, but with a sticky stamper, it picks up just fine. So that is about that. This cost me about $3.50, and this, which I haven't even taken out of the package or reviewed yet, cost me $5.99 at Walmart. Now, I did get this immediately, and I waited 2 weeks for this. But I'll tell you which one I like better. And I bet you don't need me to tell you. I love these. No matter how much I like this little guy, I'm not going to like it better than this. So, here are my 2 dual-headed stampers for resizing and for general creation. And thank you for joining me today on my last review / how-to of the series. I hope you enjoyed our little adventure. Please, as we exit the series, I will be doing more series, and I will be putting out lots of videos during the month of June. So please subscribe and hit that little notification bell so it'll tell you when I have released something. Here's an enlargement, and here is a shrink. I just wanted to show you one more before I left. And I really am happy with being able to read the words on this Just Married stamp, because, yeah, that's a tiny, tiny stamp on that little plate. Anyway, so it has been awesome. Or as they say, it has been swell, but the swelling has gone down. So I will see you guys soon. Maybe tomorrow. Haha, but maybe not. See you later. Epilogue. Sorry guys, I'm back just for a second. Because I found the scraper that comes with these little stampers, the dual stampers. But the other thing is, I was trying to explain something earlier and I really phrased it wrong. I was talking about if the polish dries while you're on, when you've shrunk, and the polish dries on the stamper before you have chance to get it to the decal mat, I was talking about making a decal on the actual stamper head. Now, if you're moving it to the nail, there's a totally different process of making sure that you can take it off the stamper. You use your sticky base coat, which I've already applied to this. Or what I use for sticky base coat is just a $1 base coat top coat combo, LA Colors brand from the Dollar Tree, and that is very sticky. So I make sure this is ready, and it should be ready. And there you go. So that is what you do if you're moving it to a nail or to some fake nails or press-ons or whatever. So 2 methods. One is if you're making the decal and it dries before you get it to the mat, you can make the decal directly on the stamper head. if you are using your fingernail, you don't want a decal, put some sticky base coat on it, go ahead and stamp. It'll fix to it right just fine. It'll fix to it just fine. Anyway, now it is goodbye. I just wanted to make sure I shared that information with you, and that I didn't tell you something that was wrong, because yes, fixed it, done, we're good. Hasta la vista, guys. See you later.